And, I was watching a little bit of the Emmys last night, and I was thinking that some of you may have seen on social media, Stephen Colbert did his infamous Nazi salute. He was trying to actually describe Trump. But here we saw at the Emmys, literally, if Stephen Colbert, well, first of all, if he did his Nazi salute, the ratings might have been a little better. But if he literally opened the Nazi 25-point platform and began to read from it, nationalization of industry, universal health care, let's go after the greedy, swindling bankers, and so on and so on and so on, he literally would have gotten thunderous applause from the people in the audience. In other words, what I'm saying is the platform of the Nazi Party was manifestly left-wing. And historically, in America, the left recognized the Nazis, recognized the Italian fascists as kindred spirits. Hitler, in fact, got some of his most maniacal and destructive ideas from the American left. I'm not saying that there were similar things going on. I'm saying Hitler literally lifted it from the blueprints, from the example supplied by the Democrats and by the left. To take a single example, this is, I would call it, the Hitler-Margaret Sanger connection. Today, if you pick up a brochure of Planned Parenthood and you thumb through it, you get the idea that Margaret Sanger, the founder of the organization, was a champion of choice. She wanted every woman to decide whether and how many offspring to have. When you read this, your kind of big lie antenna should be going off. Because the real Margaret Sanger wasn't like this at all. The real Margaret Sanger opposed choice. A slogan that she had, which was published in her magazine, Birth Control Review, more children from the fit, fewer children from the unfit. This is the chief aim of birth control, end quote. So Margaret Sanger's view is that if you are unfit, of course in her view, then you should be prevented from reproducing at all. No kids. Ideally by persuasion, but if you refused, by force. And the progressive eugenicists in America, the gang around Margaret Sanger, had basically two approaches to achieving this goal. The goal of preventing the unfit from reproducing. The first was forced sterilization. This is the one that Margaret Sanger supported. The other one was euthanasia, which basically referred to killing off people who were seen as sick, disabled, old, and so on. Now, amazingly, the Nazis got a wind of this. Through international conferences, they learned about what the American progressives were proposing. There was a California progressive, Paul Popenoe, who said, listen, if we're going to have euthanasia, we can't kill people one at a time. We need to have a more systematic way of doing it. And he proposed, quote, lethal chambers to carry this out. And what I'm saying is that the Nazis go, what the Americans are proposing is fantastic. We're going to run with it. The Nazi sterilization laws of 1933 and the Nazi euthanasia laws of 1935, which were, in fact, the first gas chambers. The Nazis used poison gas, carbon monoxide gas, to kill initially not Jews, but the sick, the disabled, what Hitler called imbeciles, and so on. And what I'm saying is that the Nazis adopted, almost wholesale, the blueprints supplied by Margaret Sanger and her American progressive buddies in the eugenics movement.